Hello and welcome to the session of chemical bonding and catalysis. Myself Prabha Modi from Paro Institute of Engineering and Technology Diploma Studies. Let us see that how the matter consists of and how it is formed or present in nature. All the matter which present in nature is anything which occupies space and has weight. So we need to study first the structure of matter. Matter consists of smallest particles which we called as atom. Now what is the structure of atom? Matter consists of atoms which are often joined together to form molecules. All the atoms are made up of three fundamental particles. First one, positively charged protons, second, uncharged neutrons, and the third, negatively charged electrons. The matter consists of atoms which are the smallest particle, but in these small particle, the neutrons, which is uncharged neutrons, are present in the nucleus at the center of the atom. Along with it, protons are also present, and the total amount of neutrons and protons concentrate the mass of the atom. The electrons, which is the third negatively charged particles, they rotate in a particular circular path around this nucleus as shown in this diagram. Number of electrons rotate in different circular path. As per the Bohr's atom model, this is another structures where a hydrogen atom which consists one electron, and at the center it is a nucleus. The path around the nucleus in which the electron rotates is called as orbit, but the space around the nucleus where the electrons are continuously rotating with very high speed, and due to their speed an electron cloud is created where the probability of finding the electron is maximum. This space is known as orbital. Thus, the electron is the wave that surrounds the nucleus of an atom like a cloud, as shown in this picture. Now, let us see how these electrons are distributed in the different circular path, which is orbit, where the electrons are present, and it is denoted by the main energy shell 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. As the electrons are rotating with very high speed, the probability of finding the electron is increased. That means the space is increased. Therefore, these orbits contain orbitals because of the cloud created by the fast rotation of electron, and these orbitals are designated as PS, P, D, F, so on. Now, as the electrons create a cloud, the space is increased. Therefore, the space can be defined on the basis of three-dimensional structure X, Y, Z, and based on that, orbitals contain suborbitals because of the electron cloud, and the shape of atomic orbital is defined based on the three dimension as, for example, if it is S orbital, then as per the three dimension XYZ, S has only one suborbital, that is itself S. P contains further three suborbitals depending upon the three different coordinates X, Y, Z, that is Px, Py, Pz. D contains 5 suborbital, for example dxy, dyz, dxz, dx square minus y square and dz square, and so on. To describe the different shape of these orbital and suborbitals and their energy levels, there are 4 quantum numbers which describes the presence or the space of each electron. The first one is principal quantum number, which is represented by n, which is the main energy shell that we have seen 1, 2, 3. Then angular momentum number L, magnetic quantum number, which defines the rotation of in the particular field. Fourth one, spin quantum number, that is the spinning of electron either in clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. Also, the electrons are distributed in different orbitals and suborbitals based on the three different rules. The first one is Aufbau principle. According to this principle, the orbital with the lowest principal quantum number, which means n, have the lowest energy and will be filled up first. As shown here, 1s orbital is first filled, it is completely filled, then 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p. Now after 3p, the 4s orbital is first filled because it is the lowest energy shell as per 3D, as shown in this figure. The second principle is Pauli's exclusion principle. According to this principle, no two electrons in the same atom can have the same set of quantum numbers. This means that we have seen that there are four quantum numbers. First is the principal energy level, second is the orbital which defines the orbitals, that is SPDF, and third is the magnetic, that is the rotation, and fourth one is the spin. So if there are two electrons in one particular orbital, say 1s, its n number, that is principal quantum number 1 is L, same for the two electrons is same, L is equal to 0, this is also same, M is equal to 1, but the spinning in one particular orbital, the spinning of two electron will be different. The spinning of one electron will be clockwise and the spinning of second electron will be anti-clockwise. Therefore, as per the rule, no two electrons in the same atom can have the same set of quantum number. The third rule is Hund's rule. According to this rule, the orbitals of same energy are each filled with one electron equally before filling any one of them with a second electron. Also, these electrons have the same spin. Let us see. For example, in one s orbital, two electrons can maximum accommodate this orbital, so two electrons are filled. For 2s, again 2 electron, but in case of 2p, we have seen there are three suborbitals, 2px, 2py and 2pz as per the three-dimensional structure. So while filling the 2p orbital, second p orbital, one electron will be first filled in each of these with the parallel spin, and after that, when 2p is equally half filled, pairing of electron will take place with the opposite spin as shown in this 2p orbital. Let us see the total atomic structure of one particular element, for example helium. Helium, the number which is written in the 4, that is the atomic mass number, which contributes the total number of neutrons and protons in the nucleus. The number 2 represent atomic number, that is the number of protons in an atom. Now we have seen that the number of protons equals to the number of electron. The total number of positive charge equals the total number of negative charge. Therefore, number of protons equal to number of electrons. To find the number of neutrons from the nucleus, from the atomic mass number, we can find the number of neutrons by deducting the atomic number, which is the number of proton, from the atomic mass number, which is total number of protons and neutron. Electronic configuration. The number of electrons are distributed in different energy shell, as we have seen, orbit, orbital and suborbital. So the number of electrons are arranged in different energy levels around the nucleus of an atom in this manner. For example, this is a nucleus of an atom. It is represented by N, which is the main energy level. So 1, 2, 3. For example, there are 3 main energy level. Then L. This L represents the sub energy level, that is orbital, S, In the second one, S and P, as the space increase, as the main space of main energy shell, that is N, increase, the number of orbital also increase. So in second energy shell, along with S, there is also P orbital. In third, S, P and D. In four, S, P, D, F, and so on. In the first orbital, one electron, one orbital. In the second orbital, three suborbital, that is Px, Py, Pz. In the third D orbital, 5 suborbital. In F, 7 suborbital. So in the first energy shell, which is shown with the blue box, it is the first atomic orbital, that is S orbital. In the second energy shell, one is S orbital and the second one is P orbital, but it has 3 suborbital, that is Px, Py, Pz. In the third one S orbital, 3 P orbitals and 5 D orbitals. In the fourth one, similarly, 1 S orbital, 3 P orbitals, 5 D orbitals and 7 F orbitals. Each of these orbital can accommodate maximum 2 electrons. Therefore, in the equation NL power x, x represents the total number of electron which is filled in each orbital or suborbital. As shown here, the atomic orbital can accommodate maximum 2 electron, only 2 electrons. So, in the first energy shell, principal energy shell, in that one orbital is there S, and maximum electron that can be accommodated is number 2. So S is equal to 1 into 2 is equal to 2 electrons. For the second energy shell, there are 2 suborbitals S and P. So in S again, it is total number of 8 electrons. How? P contains 3 suborbitals, so 3 multiplied by 2 is equal to 6, and 1 is S orbital. So total 8 electrons. In the third energy shell, again there are S, P and D orbitals, which further contains 1, 3 and 5 suborbitals. So, and each energy shell have maximum 2 electrons. As shown in this diagram, each one is filled with first half filled and then equally paired with another electrons with opposite spin. Total number of electron 18. SPD, so 5 into 2 is equal to 10, 3 into 2 6 and 1 into 2 2. So therefore 18 electrons in the third energy shell. Similarly, in the fourth energy shell, the first orbital is S, again 2 electrons. Second orbital is P, so there are 3 suborbitals Px, Py, Pz, each of which is first half filled with single electrons, and then it is paired with another electron with opposite spin. Similarly, D orbital and F orbital. So total number of electron is 32 electrons. Now let us see some of electronic configuration of some of the elements. Hydrogen, it has only 1 electron, so first principal energy level 1, which contains 1 orbital S and 1 electron. Second element, helium, again maximum number of electron which can be accommodated in one particular energy shell is 2. So unless and until one particular orbital is completely filled, the electron enters the same energy shell. So for helium, there are 2 electrons and the 2 electrons enter in the 1s orbital. Third element, lithium, atomic number 3. Configuration is 1s2, 2s1. 1s2 is completely filled. So after 1s2, 2s, second energy shell and first orbital s, so 2s1. Beryllium, atomic number 4, 1s2, 2s2. Boron 5, 1s2, 2s2. Now 1s and 2s are completely filled. So now the electron will enter to the another energy shell of second main energy shell, that is P. 2p 1, because from 5 4 are already filled in 1s and 2s, and the fifth electron goes to 2p orbital. Carbon, atomic number 6, 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Unless and until the p orbitals is completely filled with 6 electron, as per the rule px, py, pz, and each containing 2 electrons, so total number of 6, so p should have completely 6 electron. 7, nitrogen, atomic number 7, 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Oxygen, atomic number 8, 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. Still the total number of electron in p orbital is 4. Now further, fluorine, atomic number 9. So again the last electron will enter the same p orbital and it will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. The neon 10, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Now the p orbital is completely filled with 6 electron. So in the next element, sodium, with atomic number 11, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, and the next one electron will enter to the new energy shell, which is the third energy shell, with 1 orbital s and 1 electron. Magnesium 12, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. Aluminium 13, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p1. Silicon 14, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p2. Again phosphorus 15, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p3. Sulfur, atomic number 16, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p4. When we come to chlorine, 17, atomic number, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. Argon, atomic number 18, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. Now as per the rule, each and every orbit, orbital and suborbital are completely filled. So we called it as that the octet is complete. Again for next element, potassium, atomic number 19, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, and the next energy shell as per the Aufbau principle. As per the Aufbau principle, we have seen that the electron will first enter the lowest energy shell. So from this figure we can see after filling 3s, 3p, the line goes to 4s.